like a Hellcat.
Hey, it's Liz, Mama2Crazy5, and today I'm going to be finishing up my right hand with you guys. So, this is what I have going on my left hand. It is a glitter from Cali Girl and Dark Matter by Zooty. So, I'm going to be using Jolt, Reminisce, QT, Tangy, and Dark Matter, all by Zooty. All the colors except for Dark Matter do glow. I do have my Virgo Gem base coat, my Steel Protect, and my Nail Addict LA Nail Wipe Gel top coat. I also have my clear from Double Dipp'd, which is my favorite clear. I'll be using that to encapsulate today. So I do have 2 layers of UNT Peel Off base coat on my ring finger, and layer of this white by Kiara Sky. So I did go ahead and apply a layer of that. Now I'm just looking at the order in which the colors need to be placed and kind of getting them set up that way. So I am going to be using 4 different brushes. I'm not going to cross-contaminate my brushes today. I will have 4 different eyeshadow brushes for this ombre. I'm going to be doing a rainbow diagonal ombre on my ring finger. And as I said before, these are glow colors. They do glow in the dark. So I've got my 4 brushes here, 1 brush per color, and I just want to make sure that, that they do not cross-contaminate or anything within the dip jars. So I am going to go and apply a generous layer of Virgo Gem base coat on my finger. And I do want to make sure that I cover all of the fingernail to make sure that I get as much pigment left behind on the first go around as possible. It's kind of a rite of passage that the first round is going to kind of suck. It's just, it happens. The first round of any ombre always sucks. I'm going to go through and I'm going to go ahead and start applying my colors, starting with Reminisce at the bottom of my nail. I'm sorry, I know I'm out of frame, but you're not missing anything, I promise. So I'm just applying Reminisce at the tip of my nail at a slanted diagonal, and then I'm going to go in with Jolt, and I am aiming to land it on top of Reminisce, and it is just naturally ombreing itself to the side of it. I'm just kind of going down the line with that, doing the same thing with Tangy, and we'll be doing the same thing with QT following as well. Trying to work as quickly as possible. As with any ombre, you do want to make sure that you kind of work quickly to make sure that you get as much pigment, on that base as quickly as possible. So I'm applying the colors at the same angle to coordinate with the nail decals that I have on my other fingers. I do go around my cuticle lines after with a toothpick. It does help me achieve uniform, crisp cuticle lines. So this is the first layer, and now I'm going to go in with my second layer. So as you can see, as I stated before, the first layer doesn't hold a whole lot of pigment. It's kind of a rule of thumb, unspoken rule, rite of passage. Your first layer is going to suck. That's kind of what happens. So now I'm going in with my second layer. I'm applying another generous layer of dip base coat, covering everywhere on the nail. And I'm going to go in reverse. So I'm going to start with QT this time at the top of the nail, at an angle still, turning my finger with every color to make sure that I cover the nail completely, and going in the same order. I'm sorry, not the same order, in the reverse order, to be able to achieve the ombre faded look. So again, I'm aiming Tangy to land on QT right now, and it is just naturally landing outside of the line, creating the ombre rainbow effect that I was wanting. I'm continuing on with the same order, ending with Reminisce this time at the very, very tip of my nail. You want to make sure you're turning your finger to ensure that you do cover all areas of the nail and you're not left with any bald spots or blank spots that you'll have to repair later on. So, second layer is done. Very, very pleased with the results so far. I'm going to do a third layer because, you know, with ombreing in the top method, when you are applying the color onto your nail, you're not applying it in the same density as it would be if you were dipping. You're sprinkling on your nail, so it is going on with a lighter density. So I am doing a third coat, going in the order in which I started. So while I do that, I just wanted to say I know I have not uploaded in a while, and I do apologize about that. Things have been crazy lately, and I live in Texas in 2021. That's all I gotta say. It's been crazy. It's been going on, but I'm here and I'm doing my thing still. So I just wanted to let you guys know that. So the nail decals that I have on my other 3 fingers are called Hello Winter by Poshy Nail Designs. I did recently become the newest ambassador for Poshy. So I am an ambassador for 3 small businesses now. Cali Girl Nail Dips, Barbie Secret Dips, and now Poshy Nail Designs. So I'm very, very excited about that. I love each and every one of the companies that I ambassador for, and I think it's just an awesome thing. So yeah, so there's my third layer. I'm going to go around the cuticle line again, go ahead and give her a good dust off, and then I'm going to apply a little bit more base because I did find that I do want more of the the green down at the very bottom of my nail. It didn't quite ombre like I wanted it to there at the tip, so I just apply a little bit more base and sprinkle on a little bit more of the color that I do want on there. So as you can see, I just went in and added a little bit more of the Reminisce and then a little bit more Jolt, just to make sure that the transition from color to color was exactly the way that I wanted it. So now I'm going to go through and I'm going to clear cap this design that I just got done working hard on. I'm going to go ahead and clear cap it in my Double Dipp'd clear dip. So I do love my Zooty colors. I love Zooty. Awesome. So make sure you guys check out Cali Girl Nail Dips, Barbie Secret Dips, and Poshy Nail Designs for your dip powder needs and your nail decal needs, because they are amazing products. I do love my Double Dipp'd clear. It is the clearest of all the clear in Clearland. It is my absolute favorite. It looks like glass on top of any design or decal. It is amazing. I do only do 1 clear encapsulation with this design. With chunky glitters, even fine glitters, I usually do 2, but I am going to be doing my Lion Manny design on top of this design, so I didn't want to add too much bulk. Give her a nice dust off. Make sure she's good and situated. And then I'm going to go in and activate. And I'm going to activate the shit out of it because I want to make sure it stays exactly the same as it is right now, because it matches the Poshy Nail Design decals very, very well. So as far as the rainbow ombre is concerned, as you can see, it is relatively easy. You just have to have a level of fearlessness in order to do it. So you can create just about anything with the right level of fearlessness. First, want to make sure it's good and activated so I don't end up filing off any of the pigment that I applied on there. Good. I'm very pleased with how the ombre turned out and with the magic of editing too. Now, anytime you're going to apply a layer of base after having there's just a level of understanding that this layer of base is going to dry very quickly. Almost too quickly for me to be able to apply anything else on top of it. So I'm going to apply this and I'm going to let it dry. The next step in this design does need to have a smooth sheen surface in order to be able to work properly. You do want to make sure it's completely dry before you move on with the next step. So I'm going to move on with my nail tape, and I'm going to apply it in the order that I would like to have the lines in. So what I was shooting for, I have the dark matter on my pinky, so I wanted it to look like the beams of, almost like beams of light coming out towards the fingers with the Poshy nail design decals on them. So I'm just going to go, and I want to apply the tape at the opposite diagonal angle from the powder application, so that the lines and all the colors can really shine through, because as I stated previously, these are glow powders, so they do glow in the dark, and I wanted them to glow through the black, the decals. I'm just going to go through it, and when you're applying nail tape, it can be a bit of a bitch, so as long as you make sure that it has a smooth surface to adhere to, you press it down firmly, and you make sure that there's no dust or debris or anything on that piece of tape, it should work well for you. You can apply the tape in any design that you would like to. This is just what I decided to go with today, and to achieve the look that I wanted, which was of course that the beams of light are opening up towards the decals. Now that's one of the great things about doing your own nails at home. You can customize it any way that you would like to achieve any look that you've maybe seen or been inspired by or thought up on your own. You can kind of make it your own. With the same level of fearlessness, you can absolutely create something beautiful. So you want to make sure that you push down rather firmly on the nail tape in order for it to adhere properly. And like I said, depending on how you want the design to be, the nail tape can be a bit of a bitch. It can put a little fight. You do have to turn your finger different ungodly angles, unnatural angles, to be able to get it exactly where you want it. But as long as there's no powder or debris or anything on that tape, it'll cooperate with you relatively well. So as you can see, I'm pushing down firmly with my nail to make sure that it's nice and firm up against the other nail and up against the cuticle line, to make sure that there's no seepage of any of the base going past the nail tape. So I'm going to apply this last piece, and then I'm going to go on and move forward with the next step. Alright, so after applying those, I am going to trim off the excess hanging off at the tip, just to make sure that I don't have any problems dipping into the jar, because I'm going to be dipping it, not pouring it. I want to make sure that I get the best opacity, considering I can only do one dip with this process. I'm going to go in with some dark matter, and I'm going to apply a layer of the face, and I'm going to apply a pretty generous layer, making sure the nail is covered completely, because with this step you only get one shot. You want to make sure that you cover it completely, that it's going to be opaque enough to be able to cover the colors underneath, to get the effect that we're going for here. Now again, I am covering the nail completely just to make sure that that dark matter goes everywhere that base goes and covers the nail, in order to not have any of the colors peeking out in the perimeter of the nail. It needs to be covered completely. So you do want to go in right after you dip and peel the nail tape off. As you can see, I hadn't even dusted off yet. I just went right in to pull off the nail tape. It did give a little bit of resistance. As you can see, it did pull the dip powder that was on top of it, is now sticking up from the nail. With this, you can very easily take nail clippers or cuticle nippers, or whatever you'd like to. Even a cuticle pusher might be sufficient enough, and just remove the excess that is sticking up to reveal the nice, clean, precise lines that are left behind from where the nail tape was previously. So with this, I do like to be rather meticulous. I do go through each line to make sure that it's exactly the way that I want it to be. I do like to make sure that I do, clip off all the excess just to make sure it's nice and clean. You want to get those lines as clean, as crisp as you can, because after this comes the clear encapsulating, and once you do that, your work is almost done. So you want to make sure to get the outcome that you're wanting. So yeah, just cleaning off around the lines. That's pretty much it. So I do want to make sure, like I said, that those lines are open, because I want every single color in the ombre that I created to shine through, especially because they are glow dips. I want to make sure that they glow right on through in the dark without anything in their way, so I'm going to use the cuticle pusher here, and just making sure those lines are nice and open without any obstacles in the way of those colors shining through. So I will be going in with my Double Dipp'd clear dip to clear that in a second. As you'll see, I will apply a thick layer of dip base. Doing this design, you do want to make sure that while you're applying your base, you want to make sure that you travel the lines with the base brush to make sure that the base does seep into the lines, so that the clear dip can fill those lines and there's not going to be any voids or rivets or divots or any indentations, anything like that. You want a nice smooth finish whenever you're done with that. So as you can see, it's a nice thick layer, nice and hefty. I'm going through and making sure it's kind of getting everywhere that it needs to cover in order to protect my design that I just got done creating again. Then I'm going into my Double Dipp'd clear, making sure that the nail is completely covered and it has a nice smooth finish. And I like the way that it turns out. And I'm not clipping my skin. I just got some of the clear base and dip, so I was clipping off the product. You want to make sure that you dust it off very well in order to make sure there's no specks or anything left behind. And then I'm going to go in with my activator yet again and make sure that I activate it really, really well. It does only have the one layer dip to activate, but I want to make sure that it activates it completely so that none of that design that I just got done creating gets damaged. So this is what we're left with. I do file and buff off camera, so now it's all nice and smooth and washed and cleaned and ready for top coat. I do like to go in just before top coat with a alcohol prep pad. These are quick and easy to grab, and they're super duper helpful whenever you're in the midst of a mani. Alright, now I have my nail LA gel top coat. This is my favorite gel top coat currently. It's super duper shiny, and I love the way that it looks whenever it's finished. I'm going to go in and apply a normal layer of gel top coat in order to get the shine and the finish that I want. So after I apply the gel top coat, I'm then going to cure for 60 seconds in my LED UV nail lamp. And it is cured, and here's the finished look. Of course, I'm going to finish my mani off with my Candi Skincare Cuticle Oil. This is the scent Sweet Oranges, and it smells delicious. I haven't tasted it or anything. I want to, but I haven't. It just smells really, really, really good, and it's super hydrating for my skin. Oh, I love it, especially right after a mani. It just works all the wonders. You guys for watching today. And don't forget to subscribe, like this video if you found it mildly entertaining or in the least bit helpful for you. Share the video to all your friends. With the right level of fearlessness, anybody can create something beautiful. You guys have a great day, and thank you so much for watching.